This is test ID 53, component ID 80. It's the purge flow monitor. The component ID 80 indicates a minimum limit. The PCM monitors engine speed at idle when evap purge solenoid is open just slightly. This is a semi-intrusive test just to check to see if we have purge flow. The values aren't converted to measurement values by Chrysler, so use the data as a relative indicator of performance. We'll use vehicle data. Notice here in our highlighted TID 53, we have an actual measurement of 65,000 and a minimum limit of 250. We have easily passed this test. It definitely affects engine RPM. Remember, in mode 6, if you get a good pass like this, you don't have to do any additional testing. But here's some things about testing. We cannot capture the RPM running the purge monitor because it only happens once per drive cycle and happens very quickly. We'll use the scan data to watch purge duty cycle and short-term fuel trim doing a test drive. Now, we're going to use the data here from the OTC monitor. Notice at the top we have evap purge duty cycle. In the middle we have O2 sensor voltage. At the bottom we have adaptive memory. Now we're going to take a time to look at each one. Right here, purge duty cycle had a step increase, and at that same instant the O2 voltage increased, indicating a richer mixture, and the short-term fuel trim went down in the same time frame. Now this confirms we have fuel vapor in the purge flow. So that's actually confirmed two things. We have purge flow and we have fuel vapor present. And the PCM is going to utilize this in order to increment up the screens, as you see here, as we go up in duty cycle. Now, purge flow does not always have fuel vapor present. We can have purge flow without it. In cold weather operation, we have very few vapors stored, while in hot weather, more fuel vapors are stored in the canister. So the readings will change summer and winter. Here's another example of cold weather. The purge duty cycle increased, and it's a fairly large increase. At the same time it increased, the O2 sensor decreased in voltage. It went down, indicating a leaner mixture, and adaptive fuel trim went up, saying we're having to add fuel. Now, this confirms we have purge flow with very little fuel vapor present. The PCM is having to compensate for lack of fuel present. This is a very limited monitor. This can only verify purge flow. It is not able to identify leaks. Enhanced evap that will test for leaks will require additional test capabilities. Use this for what it does. A gross check of the evap system to see if the canister purge solenoid is operational.